Good morning, boys. Last class we have, in video number 1, we have stated about some important features of coordination compound. In fact, coordination compounds are also known as complex compounds. Now see, in our last video, video number 1, we have discussed about ambident ligands. Ambident ligands or ambidentate ligands, meaning same. Ambidentate ligands are those ligands which are unidentate but can link through different donor atoms to the central metal atom or ion. They have the ability to have more than one donor atoms, though they are unidentate. The examples are Cn minus, NO2 minus, SCN minus. Today, we want to discuss about some other types of ligands. Another type of ligands is chelate ligand. Chelate ligand. The chelate ligands, you see chelate ligands means those ligands which are didentate or polydentate, not unidentate, remember. Means those ligands whose denticity is more than 1 and they can link to the central metal atom or ion through more than one donor sites to form coordinate bonds. So here you see that chelate ligands are those ligands whose denticity is more than 1 and can link to the central metal atom or ion through coordinate bonding by using 2 or more different donor sites. Let us see some examples of chelate ligands. Ethane 1,2 diamine. Ethane 1,2 diamine, the formula is CH2, CH2, NH2, NH2. So this is the formula of ethane 1,2 diamine. This ethane 1,2 diamine in short form, abbreviated form, it is denoted by EN. So EN means ethane 1,2 diamine. It is didentate. There are 2 donor atoms. This is one donor atom, this is another donor atom. Nitrogen is the donor atom here, nitrogen is the donor atom here, and the ligand is a didentate ligand. Didentate ligand. So didentate ligand, it's a chelate ligand. Another example is oxalate ion. Oxalate ion, abbreviated as OX. Formula is COO minus, COO minus. So this is oxalate ion, 2 negative charges and the oxygen carrying negative charges. This oxygen has lone pair. This lone pair is donor atom. So oxygen is the donor atom here. So this is one donor atom, this is another donor atom, different donor atoms. Now this is oxalate ion, ethane 1,2 diamine. These are all chelate ligands. And obviously it is a didentate ligand, it is also a didentate ligand. Both are didentate ligand. That means their denticity is 2. So didentate or polydentate ligands, they are known as chelate ligands because they can simultaneously link with more than one donor sites to the central metal atom or ion. There is one more example that is very important. I must mention it. EDTA. EDTA. This ligand is hexadentate. Hexadentate means its denticity is 6. A one molecule of ligand can form 6 coordinate bonds to the central metal atom or ion. EDTA, the full form is ethane 1,2 ethane. EDTA, I am writing the formula CH2, CH2, and CH2, COO minus, CH2, COO minus, and CH2 COO minus, CH2 COO minus. So this is the formula of EDTA. So ethylene, diamine, tetra, 1, 2, 3, 4, tetra, acetate, ion. Ethylene, diamine, tetraacetate ion. This ion is known as EDTA. So EDTA is hexadentate. Look at the donor sites. The donor sites are, this is the donor site, donor site, donor site, donor site, donor site, donor site. So these are the donor sites, 6 donor sites, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's why it is hexadentate ligand. So these are called chelate ligand. And when the chelate ligands bind to the central metal atom or ion through coordinate bond, they form a ring, and this is known as chelate ring, and the process is known as chelation. Chelation increases the stability of the complex, because in case of chelation, when there is chelation, ring formation, the central metal ion is firmly attached with the ligand. And because of this firm attachment, very strong attachment due to the formation of ring, chelate complexes are more stable than non-chelate complexes. As the number of chelate ligands increases, stability of the complex also increases. So with the help of an example, I will explain it, that how chelation increases the stability. Let us see, I am writing some examples of coordinate compounds. Coordinate compounds, these are number 1, COEN whole 3, Cl3, COEN whole 2, Cl2, COEN Cl ClCOEN 6, this is 2, it is 1, 6, and this one is ClEN. Okay, let's take 2 examples here. So this one, if you see here, cobalt is the central metal atom, sorry, it is ion, because its oxidation state is +3. Oxidation state of cobalt is +3, so it is central metal ion. Here is also oxidation state of cobalt is +3, so it is central metal ion. Here the ligands, there are 3 chelate ligands, ethane 1,2-diamine, 3 chelate ligands. Here you see there are 2 chelate ligands, and here you see 2 chloride ions. So here the counter ions, if you look at the counter ions, there are 3 Cl minus which are acting as counter ions. So if it is treated with excess of silver nitrate, it will give 3 mole of AgCl. 3 mole of AgCl. This compound, this complex, when it is treated with excess of silver nitrate solution, it will give 3 mole of AgCl, 1 mole of this complex. If we consider, if we take 1 mole of this, 1 mole of this. And if this one is treated with excess of silver nitrate, this will give 1 mole AgCl. 1 mole AgCl. From these observations, it is clear that there are 3 chloride ions per mole, and there is 1 chloride ion, 1 mole of chloride ion per mole of the complex. Now what I am telling, this is chelation is here, chelation is also here. So if you draw the structure, because this coordination sphere, the entity present within the coordination sphere will have a definite arrangement in the space. According to Werner's theory, the ligands and the central metal atom or ion, they are aligned in such a way so that they have a definite pattern of arrangement in the space. So this arrangement is octahedral arrangement in both cases. octahedral arrangement. This is also octahedrally arranged. These are also octahedrally arranged. Here you see I am drawing the structure of this one, CO 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is octahedral arrangement of this complex entity, and this is En, 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 chelation. So here is a coordinate bond, here is a coordinate bond. These are the coordinate bonds. So this is the complex entity, and its charge is +3. +3 is the charge. It is shown here in this way. Write word, you give a half bracket and give +3 sign. So this is the complex entity here. That arrangement is definite arrangement, octahedral arrangement. In this case, the arrangement is like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are two En, 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 and there are two chloride ions, Cl minus, Cl minus. So see, it is also octahedral, but two chloride ions and two En ligands. So this is a ring, here is a ring, two rings, here is a ring, here is a ring, here is a ring, three rings. So here chelate effect is more, here chelate effect is less. Therefore, and the charge of this complex entity, cobalt is 3 plus, here it is 2 minus, so only 1 plus is left. So this charge you can write in this way: this is -1, so this will be plus, this is -3, so this will be +3. You can also calculate in this way. So this is the entity, diagram of the entity, complex entity. Now see, here the chelate effect is more. So this complex is more stable than this complex. This complex is more stable than this complex. This is another thing that I want to mention, that greater the number of chelate effects, more will be the stability. Chelation increases the stability of the complex. Chelation increases the stability of the complex. First point. Second point, greater the chelate effect, greater will be the stability of the complex. Now come to the next part. The next part is, as I have told you, that in case of coordination compounds or complex compounds, you must have the concept of ligands, types of ligands, unidentate, didentate, tridentate, like this, and you have the concept of types of ligand, ambidentate ligand, chelate ligands. Now you must have the clear concept of coordination number, oxidation number, homoleptic complex, heteroleptic complex. These are all their structural features. Homoleptic and heteroleptic complex. Let us take some examples of complex compounds. See, I'm writing the complex compounds. This is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. And this is number 4. So we have written 4 examples, 4 formulas of complex compounds. So I am telling you, in this case, the coordination number is 2 into 2 plus 2, that is 6. Oxidation number of chromium is, here I am writing not beer, PO4. PO4. Oxidation number of chromium is +3, since PO4 is -3. Now see, in this case, this is the complex entity. If you want to mention it, that this one is heteroleptic, this is homoleptic, because all the 6 ligands are of the same kind. Here the ligands are of different kinds, so it is heteroleptic complex, it is homoleptic complex. Similarly, this complex is heteroleptic, different types of ligands in the complex, and this one is homoleptic. Now, regarding coordination number, I am telling coordination number of the central metal ion here is 6, coordination number of central metal ion here is 6, coordination number of central metal atom, the first atom is 6, the second atom is also 6, the coordination number of the central metal atom is 4. So these are all ions, ion, this is atom. See here, it is atom because its oxidation number is 0. Since carbonyl ligands, CO carbonyl ligands, unidentate ligands, and they are neutral ligands. So this is oxidation number 0, so it is atom. These are all ions, central metal ions. Now, another point that I want to mention it here, if you look at the first complex, the complex entity bears positive charge, See, it is 3 plus, it is 3 minus, so I am writing the charge of the complex entity. Here the charge of the complex entity is 4 minus. Here the charge of the complex entity total is 6 minus. So 6 minus distribute 6 minus, this is neutral, 6 minus distribute between cobalt and chromium equally because there is no subscript. So it is 3 plus, therefore charge is 3 minus, it is 3 plus, so the charge is 3 plus. And look at the last one, the charge is 0. So when the complex entity bears positive charges, carries positive charges, the complex is known as cationic complex. Just listen to me. When the complex entity carries negative charges, the complex is known as anionic complex. When there are two complex entities, one is carrying positive charge, another is carrying negative charge, it is called cationic anionic complex. And the fourth one carries no charge, 0 charge. The complex compound is known as neutral complex. Cationic complex, anionic complex, cationic anionic complex, neutral complex. This is clear? Now come to the next point. The next point is here the counter ion is phosphate. Here the counter ion is potassium. Here there is no counter ion. Here there is no counter ion. Counter ion means the ion present outside the coordination sphere. It may be cation, it may be anion. The counter ion means the ion which is present outside the coordination sphere. So it is counter ion is phosphate, counter ion is potassium. Now, how to see when you talk about their IUPAC names, you have to know the special names. Special names such as neutral ligands have special names. Water, aqua, ammonia, amine, neutral ligands, CO, carbonyl, NO, nitrosyl. These are neutral ligands. Neutral ligands have some special names and you have to use those special names. And this one, ethane 1,2-diamine, as I told you, anionic ligands, those ligands which are anionic, carry negative charges, those ligands, their names are written in this way. If they carry negative charges, so you have to take their inorganic name, drop the last E and add O. Say cyanide, cyanido, oxalate, oxalato, sulfate, sulfato, carbonate, carbonato, chloride, chlorido, bromide, bromido. In addition to that, there are some names which carry O at the end. The last letter is O. They can also be used, such as chloro, bromo, iodo. You can write in their IUPAC name chloro, bromo, iodo. Or you can write chlorido, bromido, iodido. Cn minus, it has also another name cyano. So you can use cyano in their IUPAC name. Or you can write from inorganic name cyanide, E drop, add O, cyanido. So this is the way of writing the name of the ligands. Now, if you write the name of this complex, cationic complex, I am writing the name, its name is, write the ligands, name of the ligands, alphabetical order. So this is aqua, diaqua, alphabetical order, then it is ethane 1,2-diamine. So if any ligand carries number inside it or di-tri itself in its name, then it is twice, so you cannot use di further, you have to use bis. So bis ethane 1,2-diamine, bis ethane 1,2-diamine, ethane 1,2-diamine. So clear it. So you have to write bis here because inside the name there is already di. If any ligand in its own name, if there is already di-tri in its name, then to write 2 times of it, you have to write bis, 3 times of it, you have to write tris, 4 times of it, you have to write tetrakis, like this. You cannot use di again. So diaqua bis ethane 1,2-diamine, then its name of the central metal, chromium, then write its oxidation number. Oxidation number is written in Roman numeral 3. So 3 you write in this way, chromium 3, and then write the name of the counter ions, phosphate, chromium 3, phosphate. This is the IUPAC name of this complex. So diaqua bis ethane 1,2-diamine, chromium 3, phosphate. Now come to the second. Second is anionic complex. So cationic complex, and now it is anionic complex. Anionic complex you will name in this way, potassium, then you write the name of the ligand, 6-hexa cyano or cyanido. Then you write the name of the central metal, iron. English name, Latin name is ferrum. So in this case, when the complex is anionic, you have to write the Latin name, ferrum, with 8 ending. So ferret, hexacyano, ferret. Then write its oxidation number. The oxidation number is 6 minus 4 plus, so it carries 2 plus. Therefore, oxidation number is 2, ferret 2. This is the IUPAC name of the second complex. Come to the third. Similar way, cationic part is named according to cationic complex, anionic part is named according to anionic complex. So it is hexaamine, first letter is capital, hexaamine, Amine spelling of ammonia is double M, and amine spelling in other cases is single M. So hexaamine cobalt, cobalt is the English name, cobalt 3 oxidation number 3 and 3, 6, total negative charge 6. Then you write 6 hexachlorido or hexachlorochromate. You anionic part, therefore there must be 8 ending, chromate 3. This is the name. Hexaamine cobalt 3, hexachlorochromate 3. And the last one, neutral complex, they are named according to the rule of cationic complexes. So neutral complex, there are 4 carbonyl. So tetracarbonyl, nickel 0. Tetracarbonyl, nickel 0. So see here, okay. So when you go to the naming of cationic complex, this rule is followed. The English name is written. When you write the anionic complex, Latin name with "ate" ending is used: iron, ferret, chromium, chromate, copper, cuprate, nickel, nickelate, manganese, manganate, like this. And in case of neutral complex, the name is according to cationic complex. In case of cationic anionic complex, the rule is for cationic part you use cationic process, anionic part you use anionic process. So these are something about IUPAC naming of the complex compounds. I think you will understand it, and if necessary, if needed, you will take the help of your textbook. And in the next video, we shall discuss it again. Okay? Thank you, boys.